right, y'all. What up, my people? Welcome back to another session of the Five Session Podcast.
What's up?
Yeah, we had took off last week. We had a few things to do. We had to take a little break. You know what I'm saying? But we back with
We
some
back in.
another interesting topic. We got another five friend with us here today from the Classy Smoke Essentials brand. We got Lily Williams,
What's up,
Hey,
Lily?
hey, hey, what it do?
and of course I got my guy with me, Benji Banks, the man, the brand.
What's happening?
So, how y'all week starting off so far?
Ooh.
Ladies first.
Well, my week has started off, well, I could say booked and busy, so it's busy. I'm already tired on Tuesday.
That's good. That's that's a good thing,
That's a good
especially with
thing,
what we're
right?
talking about tonight.
Yeah. Been,
Benji, what's up,
been a
man?
been a chill week for me, man. Like I needed to chill out, man. I needed to make sure I got some rest. But the grind never stops. What I'm actually grateful for, man, is being able to work from your phone and make money. And
Mm.
that's another story. Working smarter, not harder. Burning yourself out is not the move. At least not for me no more.
Well, that's true. That's the thing for everybody. My grandfather always told me to work smarter, not harder. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we come from people that worked extremely hard, physical jobs, but we're also intelligent. So now we get a chance to display that with the day and age that we have of technology. So we need to use that creative juices and energy that we got. So
Exactly.
Right.
that's kind of where we going today. Where the topic is tales of entrepreneurship. We got a bunch of people on this show today. You know what I'm saying? A few of us here, not a bunch, my bad. But you know what I'm saying, that we want to talk about entrepreneurship because I think right now, I think it's highlighted in a lot of places, and a lot of people want to go into business for themselves and want to do things for themselves. And let me say this: you don't have to quit your day job to be an entrepreneur, right?
That's
You can
fact.
still work
True.
9 to 5 and pursue your passion of whatever you want to do after you clock out. And it's also better to have different streams of income,
Exactly.
so you can do some creative things in life, because sometimes it's not always about chasing the bag, as they say. Sometimes it's just to fulfill, what I'm saying, some things within yourself that you're really passionate about, and maybe you can make a little money doing it. So we
I
kind
agree.
of want to talk about today, and we're gonna start out with what is an entrepreneur. Some of y'all know what entrepreneur is. It's defined as an individual who creates, launches, or starts a new business, usually in response to an unfulfilled market. Now,
Okay.
that's the easiest thing, because when you are fulfilling a need that isn't already there, or something that's kind of a need that's out there, and there's nothing to fill that void, and you can fill it, then you can make a lot of money doing that.
Yes, you can.
Right.
Yes, you
but
can. I agree.
but the downside to it is getting started, and that's where a lot of people stumble at, because initially there's a huge financial risk, there's a
Right.
huge chunk of time that it takes, and a lot of upfront investments that you got to make, that a lot of people aren't willing to do.
That part scares them the most.
Yeah, so
Right.
that's when it comes in, the part of you have to possess certain traits like perseverance, tenacity, ingenuity, to facilitate that journey, because you're gonna hit some roadblocks. I
Right.
guarantee you,
Right. I
everything is
agree.
not gonna be smooth.
I agree. You'll and even in that process, especially when you're dealing with sales, because you hit seasons. You hit
Right.
seasons of well, I didn't do 3 grand this month. You know what I mean? I did six 1 month, then I did three, or I did 10, or whatever it may be. And that's where you got to have a plan at. And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs fail at, is they don't have a plan in place, an actual plan. Because there's time when you just need to market your
Yep.
product,
True.
market your stuff. You could be, if you're in sales, anybody that's in sales know that there are seasons. I mean, we get Halloween at a specific point in time, and then they hit us, and then we go to the next season and the next. So having that plan in place and knowing marketing and demographics when you're in sales is important, very important.
It's
Like they say,
important.
if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Fail to right.
True.
Lily?
But then I kind of feel like you kind of just got to get out there. because some people they have this, okay, everything got to be perfect before they
Right.
start, and you nothing's gonna be perfect because
Right.
like we was talking about earlier today, you're gonna look back and you're gonna get these timeline memories, and you'll see yourself and where you were and then where you are now, and see how much you progress. But I feel like if you have an idea or it's something that you want to do, have a little blueprint, but just start
Yeah.
executing it, start getting out there, start networking, and eventually it'll get perfect like you want it to. But
Right.
just to sit and think, oh no, I'm gonna get everything ordered and I'm gonna launch it then. Nah, you'll be waiting till this time next year.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, some things you just got to jump and start doing. Like I always use this show, this very podcast, as an example of, what I'm saying, just jumping into it because, I was trying to wait around to everything that, like they say, the stars aligned. And sometimes it's just in your own timing. You just have to
Right.
go ahead and start busting moves and let things kind of fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what you have to do with business. But like Benji said, you also have to have some semblance of a plan
You do.
because if you just start out doing stuff, just ragtag and just trying to get money, that's going to always fall. That's going to
Right.
always fall. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have a plan. So, I
The
mean, this
criticism,
plan
most
is
people who
very
start out, they allow criticism to kill their drive.
facts.
So
Right.
when you're starting out, yeah, and I agree with Lily, you do have to get started. And then, but as you go along the way, you should be reading some books. You should be listening to some mentors. You should be finding some information because, especially if there's people who have been doing this before you, and believe me, when you're in sales, somebody has been doing something before you. But finding out, you know what, I need to actually put a plan in place, write the vision, make it plain, and then run with it. And sometimes when you do that, you go along the way, you're going to run into ups, downs, people who like it, people who don't dislike it. And that's where I say finding a demographic. Because even in my stuff, everybody doesn't drink wine. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Like everybody doesn't drink wine. So it'd be crazy for me to just throw it out there, you know what I mean, to the same wolves every time. No, you gotta have a plan and say, oh, okay, these people over here do this, and that's where planning comes in. But that takes determination also as well.
Yeah, I do.
But that's dope that you sell wine, but you also do other things like you have
Right,
clothing.
right,
So people might not drink wine, but they wear clothes. Everybody wears clothes.
exactly,
So
exactly.
you have to be able to, maneuver and like as they say, the big word during the pandemic was pivot. You have to
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
be able to
yes,
pivot and
right,
do different things because not everything, like you said, everything's gonna have a season, of course, and
right,
then not everything's gonna work out the way you planned it. So you know what I'm saying, you got a plan, but you got to have a backup plan, and you got to have a backup plan for that backup plan if you really want to be successful at whatever
exactly,
you're trying to do.
right.
Right.
I agree.
Because
I
because
agree.
what just came to mind is some people that have had different iterations of businesses, 3 or 4 different businesses before they got to the one that actually worked. You
Yes,
know what I'm
I agree.
saying?
I
Yeah.
So
agree.
that perseverance came in because, kind of like what Lily does. I'll let her kind of tell you, about her businesses, but it's been amazing to watch her transition from where she started to where
Mhm.
she is now.
Right.
And I'll let her tell her story, but I think what she's doing now, when she first started, she didn't even have a clue that she would be doing that. But I'll let her tell you that story.
True.
Lily, talk
True.
to the people.
Well, when I first started, no, 2 years ago, it started with clothing, and I feel like I'm kind of fashionable or fashion forward. So a lot of people admire the way I dress, and especially a lot of plus size women. Because I feel like just because you plus size don't mean you have to look ratchet, or you have to, just because it's in your size don't mean you should wear it as well. So
Right.
I'm the type of person, I think
Yes,
you should
Lord.
look good, you should be classy, and you should be a woman, first of all, out of all things, be a lady. And so I started off with clothes, and I started selling like some little t-shirts that I was hand cutting, and so they can hang off of there, and it started selling. I was like, what? So from there I started getting into designer clothes, and then I started selling designer items. And so then from there I launched Model and Beyond. So that's my other fashion business that I have. And through that, it's like so many things that I do as far as styling. I do makeup. I do consultations. I also do modeling, coaching. So all of that is just up under one. And then this year, I started the Classy Smokers Essentials. Because I had a friend girl, she came up to me and she was like, "You are so creative." She was like, "I smoke cigars and they got these little cigar numbers. They are not cute." She's like, "I know you'll make something that look good." And I was like, "Girl, I got time for that." And so she was like, "Man, come on." And I was like, "Okay, give me a weekend." So over the weekend, I was already going to a birthday party at a cigar lounge. And so I was like, "Let me make just 5. I'm going to make 5 and see how they do." So I took them to the birthday party. I sold all 5 of them. And I was like, "Okay, all right, let me put a post." So I put a post and I made $100 in 30 minutes. So I was like, "Oh, I might be onto something."
Okay. Okay.
And then from there, I just started custom making them and designing. And it just took off. Like, when I say took off, it took off. I have an event this Wednesday that a cigar lounge wanted me to come out and display my items because the owner, they like what I have, what I do. And so I was just so excited. I was like, "Yeah, of course." And they were like, "Whatever you make, that's your money." I was like,
All right.
"Bet."
Awesome.
So, and it's just, you got to put your creative juices. And just because one thing, because trust me, Mama Beyond still is making money. I do photo shoots. I've been styling people. I just did a maternity shoot 2 weekends ago. I did my mom's photo shoot because she was like, "You styling all these people, come do me." So
Right.
when I did her, it it opened up a whole nother area of other women. Because my mother just, I mean, she's 71 years old, and when they saw a 71-year-old stepping like that, they was like,
Let me
"You
do it. Right.
Yes, and there was a lot of ladies that just hit me up. And so everything, I feel like if you're going to something with money as your main focus,
Hmm.
it's cool. Yeah, you're gonna make money, but you really gotta have a passion and do it. If you know that you like what you do, even if you weren't gonna get paid, that's what you know that's your passion
That's
for.
what you love.
So
That's what you love it. Yeah.
yes, and I can do all of this, and I ain't gonna say I can't get paid for it, but I love what I do, and what I do, it feels like I'm not working. And when I'm out
Right.
there doing stuff, like I literally feel like I'm having fun, and I'm networking, I'm talking, I'm rubbing shoulders, and then I get home, I'm like, "Shoot, I got some money," but I had fun, and and I still have a 9 to 5. I still go to work. I gotta be up at 4:30 in the morning. But hey, that's what you have to do. And that's my little story, little background. If y'all want to know more, hit me up.
Yeah, you know
That's
what?
awesome. That's
Yeah,
legit.
that's super dope because you're doing what you're passionate about, and that's key. Like you said, I mean, if you really want to make your mark in something, you really need to be passionate about it because there are going to be times where you're going to be tired, where you're not
Yes.
going to be, you're not going to have enough time, and you got to really push yourself to do these things if you really, really, really want it to happen.
Right.
and
Right.
there's going to be times too where, like Benji said earlier, you're going to have critics that said, "Okay, well, your cigar stuff is trash."
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and you can't let that affect you. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Especially
But
when you keep going.
yeah,
So
Right.
so
but,
Lily, let me ask you a question. Where
Mhm.
do you find the time to handle all of the customer service stuff? Like,
Um,
because if your hand is in everything, and I know from your presentation, you're a presentation person. So I know you're
yes.
not just going to throw something in the box and then throw it out to somebody. So I know that there's some time, there's some effort that goes into it. Where do you find that time? Is it in like a specific space when you're done with your 9 to 5? When you get home, how do you find that time to do that?
A lot of times, like I kind of work while I'm at work. Don't tell nobody. No, no, I'll just wait. But I mean, I just thank God that I have that leisure where I can still kind of get things done. But it's not like I can be at work making custom
Right,
cigar picks or
right,
numbers or anything like. So I do that on my out once I get off of work. And
right,
mind you, I have a soon to be 7-year-old son. So I
right,
still have to spend time with him as well. Or I incorporate him with this. And I was like, "Here, help me do this. Help me put these here." And we'll make a little game out of it. And he's spending time with me and having fun. So I find time with that. And in customer service, like I think if your package is A1 when you
Right.
send it to somebody and you don't leave them on red forever, like you
Right.
get back with them when they message you within a timely manner, and as well as you listen to what they want and try
Right.
to make exactly it is. And that's the key, is listening. A lot of people have an idea of what they think a person should want. Because like if you ask me to style you, I'm gonna ask you, okay, what do you like? What's your style? What are you comfortable in? Do you like to show your arms? Do you mind showing legs, chest? What? So I'm a type of person that if you feel good and you comfortable, whatever we're gonna do is gonna look good. Because if you ain't feeling good, these pictures, whatever, is not gonna look right.
Mhm. Right.
So I'm strong on communicating with a person, letting them know, okay, are you sure this is what you want? And then I send screenshots of what I made. Is this going along the lines of what you like? And then, oh
Right.
yeah, that's perfect. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then when they get the package, they already writing reviews, telling people,
Right.
and that's how it is. I mean, I just feel like if you do it right the first time and be open with people and communicate, customer service and everything, it just follows natural. And
I
that's
agree.
how I am because I know how I like to be treated. So I try to
Exactly.
treat other people that way. So
Exactly. I dig that. I dig that. I dig that.
Yep, and I agree with Lily. I do T-shirts on the side, and
Yes, sir.
I started out doing my
yes,
own T-shirts. Just kind of playing around with stuff, and I'm just like Lily said. I'm meticulous when it comes to what the person wants. If they want a custom shirt, I'm gonna ask you 50 million questions because Lily
Right.
has asked me to do some things for her, and I asked Lily
yes,
50 million questions
Right.
because I want to make sure that whatever I make for her or for any customer is exactly what they want. I'll
Right.
yes.
send
Right.
pictures
And I
along the
and
way. I'll
I
try to find
appreciate that.
mock-ups of what it is because I want you to be satisfied. And what I hate is when you have to do something over because you
Yeah.
didn't ask
Do it
certain
right the
questions
first
up
time.
front.
Right.
But
Right.
at the same time, that's part of the learning process of being an entrepreneur and having your own business. You're going to have those times where you don't do something right, but that's the time where you not lose, you learn.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, from those mistakes. And that's just part of business. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, that's the cost of doing business. You're going to lose some stuff. You're going to lose some money. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have some situations that happen that you didn't want to happen, or you're going to make some mistakes. But, hey, we learn from those things and they make us better as we go along. So,
I
you know what
agree.
I'm saying?
And that's what
That's just,
keep them coming back.
yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
True.
yep. And customer service is huge, like Benji was saying.
Repeat
The fact that
customers.
you got to take care of the customers. You have to be customer centric in order to make, what I'm saying, your business be, the best it can possibly be.
And
Hmm.
that also comes with knowing the demographic too.
Yeah,
Because if
Right.
people want what you have and you're in the right space, like it does make it a little less hectic because people that they know already want your product. So especially if you're giving out dope presentations, they're going to tell other people about your product. They're going to share it. They're going to do this. They're going to do
Yes.
that. There's an old saying that dope sells itself.
it does.
It you didn't have to talk too much about it. It sold itself. You know what I mean? So keeping that in mind also, like that helps a ton.
Yeah, they know they wanted to get high, so they came to you to get to get the instrument to get high with.
And you know it.
You
And
know what
you
I'm
know it.
saying? So when
Yeah.
people come to you asking for, hey, I need something to smoke this cigar with. I need something to smoke a little something with. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
whatever they
Some
need as
shooby
far
doo.
as as far as smoking supplies, they can tell you what they're looking for. And I'm pretty sure if you don't have something, Lily can make it. So
Can.
Go
so
on and make it then. Go on and
don't
make it
slip,
then.
you know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure she got something that she got for you. Y'all hear all of the little businesses she named, you know what I'm saying? The small businesses that fall under the one umbrella, the big umbrella of what Lily can offer you. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all buy something. Go to Lily's page and buy something.
Go buy something.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I mean that's
And
how it was. I did the Garcella Cigar Music Festival, and that was the first one they had here in Dallas, and I was a vendor, and it was people coming to my table, and the ladies was like, "I don't even smoke, but this is so pretty. Like I want one," and I was like, "Well, go and get you one." So when you decide to smoke, hey, you'll be smoking real classy and pretty. So they was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Or
Nice.
they'd be like, and I'm like, well, if you don't smoke, do you drink? I had some flasks with little designer labels on. Well, I don't drink. I said, well, you wear jewelry. I make rings and custom made necklaces. And so they was like, you gonna make a sale? Yes, ma'am.
Right.
So,
And
and that's
see,
the thing. Yeah.
no, and see, I was gonna say that. And see, that's what we call a hustle. And I talked about that a little bit before the show. Was we wanted to redefine what hustle is, because when we were growing up, I'm gonna tell you what the hustle was. I don't know if y'all remember
Selling weed.
watching watching shows, and let's see, Good Times had a dude named Lenny.
Yes, sir.
Lenny had a coat, right? And when Lenny opened the coat, he had
And then he has
jewelry, he had
plenty.
all these things. That's what we used to think of as hustle. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? And so when somebody did something, sold you something that was not good, it got a bad connotation because you're gonna say that I got hustled, right?
Right.
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 But the hustle is not a bad thing. It's the fact that that person is putting forth an effort to make that money. That's the hustle,
Right.
Right.
right? So we want to get out of that mindset of a hustle is a bad thing, or hustle has got to be selling drugs, or hustle has got to be schemes and scams.
Right.
A hustle is just putting the effort towards something to make some, you know what I'm saying, shake something, as we say.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying, the fact that she has multiple things that she can offer you and multiple things, so you can't say
You
it's
know
nothing
what?
on your
I
table.
can't find nothing.
I couldn't find nothing because it's something there for you to
You
buy.
got something you can buy. Right.
And on top of that, if it ain't something for you, it's somebody in your life that smokes, it's somebody in your life that
Right.
drink, buy
Yeah.
something for them.
And they
Exactly.
did that. They was like, I don't smoke, but my mama smoked weed. Let me get one of those cannabis. I call them cannabis clips.
Shout
All
out to
right. All
moms.
right. All right.
And I was like, okay. So
That's dope.
I
That's dope.
appreciate that. They, even though they didn't smoke, they still supported. They knew somebody that did, and I appreciate it. And I gained relationships from there. And from there, they always, hey, they always tagging me on posts. So this person looking for this, and they Lily here, Lily got it's a vendor needed, Lily. So I appreciate all my peoples that support me, and y'all just continue on doing what y'all do because y'all help me be great.
That's
All
awesome.
right,
I
all right.
dig it.
Benji asking questions, y'all, but Benji got hustles too. So
He
let's jump
do.
over there and ask Benji about his hustles because he got hustles too. Come on, Benji, talk to us about your hustles, bro.
Okay. My first one, I don't even know if y'all can see that because of the glare on the TV, but um, man, let me see. Where can I start? I'm a workaholic. Like, I don't know where it comes from, but I'm a work kind of guy, right? So when COVID hit, like, I wasn't even sure because I'm in property management, I'm in mortgage, like I wasn't sure. Everything was like kind of up in the air. So my first mentality coming from the background that I come from, drugs and all of that kind of stuff, like I knew I couldn't go to do that. Like that's not what I wanted, right? So the idea, I started scouring. I started searching for things, like I was looking in a candy store. Like I was looking for the latest video game, like I was looking for the latest idea, like something that I was passionate about. And in that process, man, I ran into some people. I came across wine. I came across some other things. And I started realizing, yo, like, you mean to tell me like I can have these dope products behind my name? And that to me was dope. So I got with One Hope Wine and I started that up, and 501c3. So anybody out there that's looking to fundraise, I can fundraise for your youth leagues and all of that type of stuff. We can get it done. And so I got with that, and it fit because I not only do I like wine, I like visiting wineries. So I was like, okay, let me check this out. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I first looked at it, I had a few questions, and I was like, I don't know. So I called my pastor up, like honestly, and I was like, man, I'm thinking I got this great opportunity on the table, man, and I'm thinking about walking away from it because of some semantics. And he was like, nah, man, I think you should do it. He's like, it fits you. Like just looking at the presentation, he's like, it fits you. It's class. It's a great product. And so I went through all of that, and I was like, okay. And from that point, like every other thing started to come out. So not only did I get with the wine, which has amazing products, legit company, I realized I've always been a cook. I just never really like got in the kitchen and started whipping up stuff and doing things like I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I was always taking other people's ideas. You grow up in the house, you cook it the way mama cook it. And so what I found out is, man, being in that space, like it's therapeutic for me. I love it. So I just got up one Sunday morning. And so I have this wine, I have these sparkling wines, I can make these mimosas. So I started creating these waffle recipes. I had seen nobody do these recipes like I had started doing. So I was like, okay, let me try this. I was in the kitchen and I was whipping, and then I would just post it on social media, and people was like, oh, yo, like that's dope. What is that? What is that? And so from there, I started doing like these brunches. So not only do I have the wine there, I got the mimosas there, I'm cooking for people, which anybody that knows me knows I'm a people person. So I'm a server also. And that's what most people get lost in when they're dealing with me. They like, why aren't you sitting down? I'm like, nah, man, I'm a server. Like, I got to be up. I want to be in, I want to be out. And that's why I asked Lily earlier about the customer service aspect, because like, that's like vital. And she has that on her as well, to be like customer service oriented, right? So I started putting these brunches together. And so here I have these brunches, and corporate companies are like, can you come do a brunch for us? And I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, this is my fee. How many people we talking? We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I got one this Friday coming up too. So we're going to show out again.
Oh wow.
But and I didn't, and in the process, I didn't want to spread myself too thin. I didn't just want to do events and be like, have like 500 people there and it's just me. So I was like, okay, let's do it for 20. And I first started it in my house. So I would, invite a lady friend over, girl, come over here and taste this for me. You know what I'm talking about? I can't eat no steak. I can't do this. Come try this out. And so it became a hit. And so people literally were like, yo, like, I want this. I want that. And so when I hit the corporate companies, that made it 10 times better, because not only can I go to their location, do it in there, feel comfortable, and then make money off of it just like that. So not only do I get to bring that in there, I get to bring my wine, I get to bring that in there, bring all of these presentations to these people and let them tell me what it tastes like. And so I started doing the reviews, and people were like, yo, like, I love this, man. And a friend of mine, he created this logo, this voice for me, which I'll probably post it later on. But he's like, that's juicy, baby. And he says it's like so great. So like, it's literally every time I have these brunches, I use his voice on the recording sessions when we're there, because I'm playing music and everything. And it just fits perfect, right? So I figured from that point, man, I need something to advertise on me. I'm like a walking billboard. So then I was like, all right, let me create my own logo. So I started coming up with some ideas. I started hitting up companies, throwing stuff out there. And the logos, just some of them weren't the ones I wanted. And then I was like, how about you use your own signature? And so I submitted my own signature to the logo company, and they was like, we love it. Boom, put it together. We're going to give it to you in all of these different formats and all of these different things. And so we're going to work on it. And so I started putting them on shirts, but then realizing like, ain't no dude finna walk around with Benji Banks plastered on his chest. So I was like, this is where I said from earlier, like having a plan.
Hold on. Let me stop you though.
Go ahead.
Let me stop you, because see, people, we got to get out of that mindset. See, right. Benji got the wrong mindset when it comes to that. He say ain't nobody gonna walk around with Benji Banks on their chest, because there's plenty of people walking around with Tommy Hilfiger on their chest.
Sean John.
And Sean
right.
John. So, right. So it's doable. It's very doable.
It's very doable. But that's where I meant about listening to specific people, because people will plant a seed in your head, and you'll be like, yeah. And so that thought process was there. But I was like, nah, like, let's create these shirts. Let's put them out there. Let's see what they look like. And when I put them out there, I didn't know. Now, sadly enough, well, I won't say sadly enough because, you know, the ladies support me. Like, it's just what it is, right? So they support. And so I was like, oh, so I sold out. So then from there, I was like, I started putting on my own shirts at my brunches with my wine and with all of my products. And people were like, I want that shirt. I want that shirt. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So then from there, I just started creating all of these other different shirts. The Focus Women Taste Better. The I Bet She Tastes Like Love. And I started creating all of these different, and not realizing that once you put it out there, people who want to support you, they'll jump on it.
Yep.
Right.
And they ain't asking you, no, they ain't tripping with you. They ain't, like, people were sending me money, and I'm like, yo, like, let me get it out to you first. And they was like, just take the daggone money. Like, they wasn't tripping. And that's the part of when you're around people who want to see you successful and people who want to see you broke.
Yep.
And this is what you have to watch out for, because as I got in the process, some people were saying specific things, and I'm like, you know, I don't want to hear that. And so then, because I cook, I was like, why don't I start doing meal prep? Why don't I start cooking for families, Sunday dinner? And so I would spend my Sundays in my house whipping up chicken dinners, cooking greens for moms and grandmothers and stuff like that. And I started doing that. And it all just kind of meshed together. And then wait till this pool party come up. So events will be taking place. I'm excited about this one because I got this dope pool party planned, man, and got the venue put together. And man, listen. Just event planning and putting everything together, man, it became like this all natural feeling like I should be doing all of this. I should have this as the one-stop shop. And that's how it came together. So still working it though. Still working, still making it happen. We ain't giving up. We're gonna keep pushing it because we got more to do, baby. We got more to do.
Y'all see the similarities between their stories. Like they started out doing one thing and it just kind of snowballed.
Right.
Like you start getting other ideas, and sometimes it's not even about your ideas. Sometimes people come to you with things, like Lily was saying. The person requested, "Hey, what about doing something like this? I know you don't do this, but I know you will make something cute. So can you make something for a smoker? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things are given to you, kind of like with my shirts. I use the saying all the time. I use this hashtag for about 10 years, hashtag you see it. And I put that on everything I post. So like my cousin, she saw that and she just made me some shirts. She makes shirts. She made me some shirts and she sent them to me. So during the pandemic, everybody was sitting at home. I posted the shirts. You know, I had the shirt on one of my shows and people saw the shirt. People was like, hey, I want one of those shirts. Then next thing you know, 4 or 5 people said, I want one of those shirts.
Right.
And the next thing you know, my DMs were full of people saying they want those shirts.
Right.
So I started sending my orders to my cousin in California. Shout out to Kiana. And she was shipping them. She was shipping them. But she was like, cuz, like, I can't keep up with this many shirts. Like, you got to press at home, right? I said, yeah, I got to press it sitting under here under this dust. You know, I ain't never opened the box. She was like, well, open the box. Download these products, you know what I'm saying? Download these signatures, download these fonts, and she went through the whole gamut with me and gave me the marketing feed and all that stuff and showed me how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I started pressing them up myself. So, you know what I'm saying? In business, you learn that, okay, you can learn these things from somebody else, but eventually you're going to have to, you know, flip it on yourself. I hate to use this example, but we've seen it a million times. When you watch a movie about a drug dealer, he starts out, you know what I'm saying, dealing drugs, and then eventually he got to learn how to cook it himself.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to cook. I had to learn how to cook the dope myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to make the shirts on my own. And that way, you know, I can start getting that profit, because that's what you ultimately in business for, is to get to the profit. Now, sadly, a lot of people don't get to that point because they don't understand that it takes so long for you to actually turn a profit, because you got stuff that you buying, you got materials, you got overhead, you got a lot of stuff that you got to take care of before you actually see the actual extra money that you're thinking you're going to have. So, that's the downside at the beginning, but once you keep pushing yourself, you start to see that, and then it looks great. The grass is really green and the money's green too. So,
That's
what
where
I'm
you
saying?
get into making sure your business is legit, and you get your EIN number. You get all of that legitly put in place so that you can apply for business credit.
Mm,
Get you some business credit. Like, I'm not just in these just because. Like, I want to register these so that everything that I do is under a business name. So, and that's to me where the branding aspect comes for. So that's why I'm branding my own name. And which is crazy, because when I actually look to brand my name, you'd be surprised how many Benji Banks brands are out there, right? So I couldn't just put my name just out there like that, because there's a freaking rapper named Benji Banks. And I'm like, huh? So, but getting the specific things in place, making sure your business is actually legit, so that you can walk up to a bank and be like, hey, here's my numbers, get you an accountant if you have to, somebody that can handle that business for you. And so I'm fortunate enough, I have all of that, to where you can walk in a bank and they will offer you $100,000 in business credit, $50,000 to $100,000 in business credit, to actually go towards marketing your business, putting your business out there, and all of those types of things. And so that's where I mentioned earlier about having a plan in place, because believe it or not, there's money printed and ready for you to make, but we have the idea, we don't like and the tax breaks are where the real money is at.
that's big
Yeah.
money.
Like, we have all of these things, but the tax breaks is where the money is at. And imagine being able to write off every time you travel, every time you go out to dinner, every time you get your hair done. People were tripping off of 45 for that, but it was in code. It was in there to where you
Yep.
can literally go get your hair done as long as it's for a business meeting. All of those types of things become factors to where you can write those off at the end of the year. And yeah, you get those tax breaks, you'll see better profits, way better profits, instead of just looking for a quick dollar, a quick 200, 300, 400. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine being able to write all of that off that you did for the entire year. And that's where the real hustle gets in, because that's where the real money's at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to look at it. I, I always point out to people that I'm a proponent for, what I'm saying, helping our people be more educated about things like business credit and things of that nature. So I'm going to plug another podcast right now. It's called Earn Your Leisure.
Yes,
If
yes,
you all take note, go and look up Earn Your Leisure. Not right now, after the show. Go look up Earn Your Leisure. You know what I'm saying? And you look up those
that's a dope
guys,
show.
and they post so much good content. They're very informative. Everything they tell you is absolutely 100 legit, and
Yes,
it's been checked, it's been tested. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get your credit right, if you want to learn how to get business credit, if you want to learn how to start real estate, all those things, those guys cover everything, even
yes,
buying a car in your business name.
yes.
So when you're driving your car around, doing all these business things in that car needs to be in your business name, not your personal car. You know what I'm
Even if
saying?
it's an Uber, even if you ride an Uber,
It's
you get a
business.
tax write off. And
Yeah.
this was a crazy part. I'll say this, and I'll put it out there. I thought traveling every day and getting the cash check that I was legit, right? When I first started, I had no idea about the tax break you get for travel, right? I was just, happy with driving everywhere and getting a little money from the company every month. And then until I was applying for a loan, and they told me we can't add this income onto your thing. And I was like, why not? He was like, because your company earns all the benefits, they earn the tax breaks. That's why they give you the cash.
Mm.
That's why they give you the money, because they earn the tax breaks off of it. Because that's why they are so willing to offer you this money now. And I'm like, oh, so you mean to tell me it's almost like just cash. And if anybody knows anything about the cash system, we know that the dollar isn't too hot. You get what I'm saying? So when he told me that, it made me research some more. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then now the laws are kind of changing up a little bit to where you can claim some of these things on as income. But I was surprised to find out this information because I'm thinking, I'm earning this extra $1,000 a month off of this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all gravy. And trust me, it's like these corporations know how to get these tax breaks, and they are, man, I'm telling you, that's where the money's at for sure.
Right.
And you know what else is dope? There's this thing called equity, and you all need to look it up what equity is. And I was watching Earn Your Leisure, and they were talking about one of the athletes that signed a contract with a certain company, and instead of them taking a certain portion of money, they took equity in the company.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of people will look at that like Benji was saying, he was getting paid cash up front, but the company was making more money off him on the back end on the tax break.
Yes.
You can't always look at the cash as cash is king,
Right.
but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to look at down the road, what's going to be more advantageous. Do I take $5,000 up front with this bonus, or do I take $50,000 on the back end?
Right.
Saying because I was patient and I waited. It's a gamble, but sometimes we got to look at that. And sometimes taking that equity in the company is way more advantageous than taking that cash up front.
I know. So, do you remember the story about Magic Johnson when he was when he had first come out of college? Nike had offered him stock in their company, and he said he didn't know anything about stock, so he was like, "No, I don't want it." He wanted the money up front, right? Mm-hmm. And so he does a deal with Converse, and then anybody who's familiar know he took like a 25-year deal with the Lakers, and it was worth maybe $20 million or somewhere around there. But the story goes is that every time Magic Johnson looks at Nike, he gets disgusted because he wasn't sure about the stock in Nike, and so he passed it up. And he always talks about getting to that $1 billion mark, and they are saying, you know what, you would have been reached $1 billion even while you were playing if you would have took, instead of the instant gratification, that you fell back a little bit, read a little bit more of the details, and took some of this stock in Nike. And of course, we know from years ago when Magic Johnson was getting the deal where Nike stock was then compared to now. So all of those are important, man. So those are issues, man, I think that I'm glad we're actually talking about today. So,
and I think even if something real simple and easy, if people watch Shark Tank, you can learn a lot from there. Yes. And they talk about equity and everything. I was just, because I love Shark Tank. Right. It is so interesting to me.
Smart people do.
See how people,
right?
How, when they know all about the numbers and what to do. And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm learning just by watching Shark Tank. And so It's just cool just to educate yourself. And because, that Joe Biden, I'm trying to pass a bill now where the banks are going to start having to report all of your earnings. So all that money you get from Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, all of that's got to be accounted for. And that's going to hurt a lot of small business people because that's how they make their money is through Cash App and PayPal. So now if you got to report this, it's going to be, oh, Lord, a mess. And I even go over here in Oak Cliff, my fish place. They only take cash, so
I'm
like, what y'all gonna do? You can close down my little fish place now, but
don't close down the fish joint. We need the fish joint,
right? So eventually, if they decide to pass it, it'll be effective December 2022. So you got some time to get your stuff in order and get your business legit if it's not legit, but.
And the reason being is because our government, to put it in simple terms, they pimps. Uncle Sam want all his money,
all of it.
But they're trying to say,
"Oh my
God!" They're trying to get
Uncle
it from
Sam
the rich.
Don't even ask you, can he take money out your account? No. Uncle Sam is like, give it here. And so from that point, they want to maximize every dollar, every cent, everything, and that's how they are. And I think we just as entrepreneurs, business owners, we got to be prepared for that because, again, it's not as bad if you understand the tax breaks.
Right.
That you can get these things and you can actually get the tax breaks off of that, because again, cash isn't going to be around much longer. You know what I mean? Credit is kind of taking over. They say credit is power. You know what I mean? So to have that, and then to be able to actually have access to other sources of revenue is actually a good thing, in my opinion, if you ask me. But I mean, that's
Right.
just
That's dope. All right. I just got a quick question before we get up out of here.
Uh-huh.
If you got advice for somebody who wants to start, start a business or become an entrepreneur, Lily, what kind of advice would you give them?
Um, my advice is find out what you're good at or what interests you and something that could give you a passion. I mean, because some people don't, business is not for everybody.
right,
Some people
right,
have to go to a 9 to 5 and work and they like that
right,
structure. But if you're a person that don't like that and you want to get out there and find something new, just start first. I mean, me, I prayed about it. And then
right.
from there, I was led what I need to do, what to do, and things work. So, and then talk to some other business minded people. Get around
Right,
people that you
right,
know that is big. Now, don't sit up under them and try to get free game. Like, no. Talk to them, say, hey, can we go out, break bread, take them out to eat, dinner, offer their services, ask them how much for a consult. They might not even do consults, but if you bring it to them in that type of way where you're just not trying to learn something for free, they don't mind, sharing the wealth and
yeah,
letting you know what's going on. So get with somebody like-minded and say, hey, I'm interested in doing this, and just talk, and don't be afraid to step out and have faith and everything. I want to show y'all something real quick before we go.
okay,
These are a couple of my items. Like
all
this right
right.
here is my what we
Oh,
call the cannabis clips. So
oh,
they're real neat, just something real simple. Like this one, you can probably barely see it, but it's a little thunderbolt. And then like this right here is it's called a nubber brooch. And so it actually
oh,
has Sister of the Leaf. And that's the SOTL. So you actually can wear it as a brooch, then take it off and smoke with it when you get ready. So yes,
oh,
the
okay.
Lord, this is my number one money maker. The Lord gave me this idea driving home from work, and I said, thank you. And
So if you
so,
see
Awesome. That's
Sister
dope.
Jones with that at church, you already know
So,
something
so,
right,
going
she
Sister
had my
Jones.
brooch on.
already.
And so you just take it, you put your little nubber, like your cigar nub, like this, and let me see where my camera. And then you just smoke,
Oh boy.
cause it
So you
gets
don't,
real
so you
hot.
don't,
It
so you
gets
don't get the residue in your
right.
nose.
It gets hot on the end. So
Yeah.
and then I just came out with these people that like hookah. So I got my little designer
Was that a
blend.
baby hookah?
No, it's the tips, hookah tips.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I got the little like
you don't want to be sharing tips.
right, especially during the pandemic. And so you have your little diamonds and your little Gucci and stuff.
You're a
And
mess, bro. You're a mess.
don't start. But it's something good to, when you standing out and you pull yours out, everybody else gonna have them little plastic ones that the people give you, and you gonna pull out this little blank and people, oh, what's that? Classy smokers. So
Okay. All right.
yeah.
All right. She,
Like,
she
oh,
even
you
had a little
smoke.
laugh right there too.
But yeah, that's
All right. Sound like the pimp of the year.
yeah,
Okay.
so those are just some little things that I make. You can always check me out on Instagram at Classy Smokers Essentials is tagged on my name right there. So I look forward to
I will
making
check that out.
something custom for somebody as well.
I need some of that for my wine. Cigars and wine go well together.
Dope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Indeed.
while we thinking, remind me after the show. I don't want to put the idea out here while we talking because somebody might steal it. But I got an idea that just came up that you could probably do. That got to do
Okay.
with his wine. But go ahead, Benji.
We're gonna make it
Hmm.
happen. We're gonna make it happen. Love collab for one. I love collaborating with people. That's like my thing. And I want to be a magnet for helping other people's business earn money. So I have a saying now: money comes to me. So that's what
Yes.
I believe in. So saying something to help someone along the way, man. I find a mentor, find somebody in business or whatever that you can be a sponge to. I don't care if you're doing stocks. I don't care if you're selling wine. I don't care if you're flipping burgers, or your own burgers, so to speak, your own ideas. I don't care if you're buttering buns. I don't care what it is that you're doing. Find somebody, find a mentor, somebody that you know got your back, knows that wants the best for you. And sometimes that might even just be online. You might have to find somebody who's in real estate or something like that that you can sponge off of, you know what I mean? And like take information from. Go to their courses, check out their courses. Um, I'll shout this one guy out on IG. His name is Chris Johnson, and he has a group called the Wealth Squad. And I encourage anybody who's getting into stocks or anything like that, go get in the Wealth Squad. Like, he's made me some solid money off of just listening to him. I didn't know anything about stocks when I jumped into it. I was totally blind in the process. I bought stock that I had no idea how to trade or anything like that. I just kind of went and listening at this dude page. Like, I would watch him, he would give you plays and he would tell you how to, like, he would run it all through. And he's a dude who's made his money off of it. So I've made money off of it too. But if I didn't attach myself to him, or was out actually looking for some solid people, and scour those people that you're looking for, you know what I mean? Don't just go into anything blind. Be a thinker, think for yourself, but also be teachable. Be solid enough to know that somebody knows more than you, and glean from them. You get what I'm saying? And don't be so selfish like that you can't actually deposit into them, because if they're depositing into you, I'll say this, and I hate to be on my preacher mode stuff, but the Bible says that he gives seed to the sower. So if you have nothing to give, you don't have any seed. So you need to be able to put yourself in a position to where you can be a seed sower, that you can give. And sometimes that's attaching yourself to healthy, fruitful people who are doing something. And in that process, man, your stuff will start coming to you. And in that process, man, people will be happy to work with you because they know you're coachable, they know you're teachable, and you're willing to listen. And then when you got a dope product, you know what I'm saying? People will support you and make things happen for you. So I'd say overall, man, find a mentor, find somebody that's got your back.
Yeah, well, I agree with Benji. Echo those sentiments. Find a mentor. Be teachable. Do your research.
Yeah,
Research. There's plenty of information out there for you to get started, for you to be, sustainable, and for you to be super successful, because the successful people all read like the same books. If
right,
you look at a lot of these successful people and you listen to them talk, they often bring up the same books.
right,
So I glean a lot from those conversations that they have on other podcasts and on other shows. And when they talk about a book, I write it down
right,
and I get on Amazon and I order that book. Some of those
right,
books I ain't read yet, but I
right,
got a
right, right,
shelf full of books. So I got a shelf full of things that I can actually research to find out more information. So, we didn't give you everything today, but we gave you enough to go on to get you started. And you have all of our social media, outlets. So you can contact us if you have any questions. Y'all already know y'all can hit me up on either one of my podcast, either one of my IG sessions, or on Facebook, or on Twitter. Just look up Big Ken's Comedy. You'll find me. You can look up the 5 Session Podcast, and you can get in that inbox. Don't be sending me no crazy stuff, because I'll put you on. I put the people up here. But you can just hit us up and ask us questions. If, like I said, every week, if you have somebody that's interesting, or you have a topic that's interesting that you think, that we might want to discuss, or that you want to hear us discuss, then just hit me up and let me know, and we can actually get those people on here for an interview, or on the panel, or get that topic, something, out there, so we can talk about it.
right,
Because what we try to do is we try to give you a little bit of information to get you going, whether it's that's for dating, whether that's for life, whether that's for parenting, whatever it may be. We try to give you some information. So we appreciate y'all tuning in, just like every week. We appreciate y'all providing feedback when you do. Make sure you join us next week. We can have another great episode. We got a great interview coming. Y'all stay tuned to the page so y'all can see who we have, that interview that's coming. We have actually for the next 2 weeks, we have interviews coming from very, very dope people.
Right.
So you might want to check that out. So go to the
stay tuned for these next couple.
Yes.
You might want to.
So, follow our pages on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and YouTube for the latest updates and clips, because we post the clips of the show as well. I want to thank Benji and Lily for coming on today. Lily has been a fire friend for a long time.
Right.
So I appreciate her for always, swinging in. When I hit her line, she's always ready to pop on. So I appreciate that. And of course, my guy Benji, I appreciate you riding along with me every week, man. This has been a blast today. We wish we could talk more about it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got to do your own research. We can't give y'all everything.
Can't give you all the game. The game should be sold, not told.
Yeah, not told.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all. And as always, y'all already know what Ken gonna say. You see it. You see it. You know what I'm saying? You see it. I gotta show y'all the shirt. You know what I'm saying? You see it.
Okay.
Y'all already know.
I should have one in the mail real soon.
Yeah. I got you, my guy. I got you. So y'all hit us up if y'all want any of these products we got. Hit us up. If y'all can't find Benji or Lily, y'all already know how to hit me up. So hit me up. I'll give you the information so we can make it happen.
For business only.
Well, I ain't got to do that. I'm out of that conversation.
I'm trying to stay saved, y'all. I'm trying to stay
Either way. As always, it's the Fiyah Session Podcast. Y'all have a great week. Peace.
Good night.